Warning, this podcast contains a lot of spoilers. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, Episode 13, One of Us.
One of us.
One of us. Been waiting all week to do that. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me are Rachel.
Hello.
And Erika.
Hi.
And Clio.
Hi.
You guys got rearranged.
Yeah.
We got shuffled up today.
I swear to God, I didn't do that on purpose. So, what'd you guys think of this episode?
It was good.
All the questions now.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions now.
Cal just keeps losing it. Like, you think he can't get any crazier? And
You think he can't get any crazier.
Oh, dude, that man is so crazy. It's beyond crazy.
I mean, this episode, Cal did confirm the whole Mr. Hyde thing.
Yeah.
chemistry.
Yeah. You know, that he, what do you call it? Experimented with, chemistry and formulas and is always tweaking it and stuff like that. So I'm guessing, when are we going to see him Hulk out and just break people? If they're even going that way.
I don't know.
Does he even get like a physical change, or is it just like he's got physical change?
I don't know.
I'm relatively
we
certain.
saw what he did with that room, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he went through a pretty serious physical change. Like an actual Jekyll and Hyde change.
That'd be interesting.
I don't know, it's been a while. Anyway,
There are versions of Jekyll and Hyde where he doesn't change in appearance.
true.
No, not really.
There are versions.
Like that show that was on BBC.
Show's really good.
Yeah, that show's awesome.
I haven't watched it.
It's
It's very good. It has the actor who plays Beaufort from The Hobbit.
And I mean,
No,
he's the same person, but little features change. Like he's a little taller, and it's the same person.
Interesting.
his eyes go crazy.
So, speaking of crazy, let's talk about, I'm proud of myself for this alliteration, Cal's conglomeration of contingent companions.
You come up with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to
You
use
add that
I had to use a thesaurus to
to
find
Queen Hard-Ass Paragon of Celibacy.
Queen Hard-Ass Paragon of Celibacy. I forgot about her.
That was yours, yeah.
She's not dead yet. What a shame. Anyway, the conglomeration of contingent companions. We have Scalpel Fingers.
That looks pretty painful.
She did that to herself, though.
Yeah, she did that to
No,
herself.
she had someone do it to her.
Oh, really? I thought
okay.
the way that
That's
they
what she said.
described
She
it
said she went to someone because she went to someone to get him put on, to get him grafted on because of her boyfriend.
I thought she did that to herself.
Yeah, I thought she did it to herself as well.
Anyway, so we have Scalpel Fingers, and then we have Strong Man, whose name I don't remember, who was just really, really strong and dumb.
He was a mob enforcer.
Right. And then we have Smart Man, whose name I also...
Yeah.
Like, what is his special power? Like Coulson said, he's a super genius.
Yeah, he's kind of like a hacker, like Sky, but a little more.
Mm-hmm. And then we have, I'm calling him Loud Man.
Loud Man.
But his name is Angar the Screamer, who is apparently... I never heard of this guy. He's apparently a small villain from a comic that's like practically nobody read or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's just a very obscure villain that they decided to throw in.
What, from the 50s or 60s? I have to guess.
Maybe, I don't know when.
They're usually they always
Looked it up.
during the beginning they always had to throw in these villains and see what stuck.
Yeah, they're doing that with Flash too. They're bringing like really lame villains and making them awesome. So it's nice to see it on both fronts.
Yeah. So Cal went looking at the index and he just found a whole bunch of misfit minions to help him on his revenge scheme against Coulson.
Well, and it's what's interesting is none of them would be considered gifted. This was all man-made, what happened to them.
Right, and there was Simmons suggesting that they separate the index,
Uh-huh.
Into 2 different levels. And yeah, these were all man-made things, and they all sounded like either crazy crap you'd get done in a prison yard or just happy accidents with experiments.
Well, was it the strong guy steroids because he wanted to be stronger? Experimental steroids. The other guy sounded like he had like throat cancer or something. They tried a new kind of a thing and it screwed up his
jaw detached. That was more than something with his throat. His jaw.
Well, I mean that's all they said. I don't know what the heck happened.
That was
that's
creepy.
What they said.
Just the whole.
I have problems watching jaw things. So while that was happening, I was like this.
My whole
holding
thing.
My jaw together.
My whole thing was his teeth was bugging me.
Well.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he had a mask on.
With that mask on for years, proper dental hygiene is
not number one.
Not the number one thing. But yeah, his power was fun. He speaks, and people fall over catatonic.
Not so much speak as scream.
Those poor birds, man.
I know.
Those poor birds. The birds are definitely not surviving.
No. They fell God knows how far.
You know what I noticed? When they showed a faraway view of the field, and everyone's supposed to be motionless. There was one football player sitting there with his knee. His knee was up, and it was moving. Like that.
The extra got bored.
Yeah, and his knee was going like this. I'm going, I thought you guys are supposed to be like catatonic.
That's why they're extras.
But I just noticed it because I saw it was like in the lower corner, and I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, wait a minute. Are they waking up? What's going on?
I guess they're waking up.
I don't know.
Anyway, after figuring out that S.H.I.E.L.D. is... so we have first episode after the break. Look, S.H.I.E.L.D.'s got powers only Fitz knows. Then next episode, everybody knows. So this episode, they're going to help her. We get introduced to Andrew, last name not remembered, who is Agent May's ex-husband. Ooh, juicy.
Still has dinners with her mom.
Still has dinner with her mom.
I thought that was hilarious.
I actually
She
loved
still
it.
hasn't forgiven me for divorcing you.
I loved everything about that.
Yep.
I want to see
Her
May's
mom's
mom.
hilarious, though.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see May's mom.
So,
Yeah, I want to see her again. She's so cute.
she is adorable. So May still is talking to him, in a pleasant manner and reminiscing and stuff. Fitz walks in to microwave something, and he's just like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah. This is weird. She's laughing.
She's laughing.
She's talking about cooking. I'm out of here before it blows up.
He said she's a terrible cook, and he's not dead. Oh, my God.
Something Agent May does not excel at.
Oh, wonderful. But that got Fitz and Simmons talking again.
Very briefly.
Mm-hmm. Simmons was less, exterminate this episode, so that's a plus.
Her smile is still fake. Like, when she smiles, I'm like, you're creeping me out. Stop smiling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's still...
It's like she's still holding a grudge. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, if you're going to hold a grudge, don't fake smile it. Don't...
It's like she's trying to pretend like everything's fine, so her smiles come off disingenuous.
It's like, you're the only one that is pretending things are fine. Everyone else knows they're not.
Yep.
So who are you trying to fool? Yourself?
Yes, she's trying to.
She's
fool
trying
herself.
to. She's trying.
Yeah, she's trying. Anyway, he comes, May gets him to come in to try to talk to S.H.I.E.L.D. and help because he's a psychiatrist. He's a professional at this sort of stuff. And,
He obviously worked with S.H.I.E.L.D. or worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. at
yes,
one
he's
point
worked
in time.
either for or with S.H.I.E.L.D. at one point in time. Doesn't anymore.
Nope.
And he seems to be pretty effective.
Oh,
And, is basically going at S.H.I.E.L.D. like, okay, basically, hey, you tell me something and I'll tell you something about, when I was married to May. Or, I'm sorry, Melinda. Oh, boy. But, I would say by the end of this, not even the end of it, midway through, S.H.I.E.L.D. had a pretty good hold on her emotions in controlling things exploding.
If you want to consider it controlling, she's internalizing it, which was not a good thing.
We find that out at the end, yeah, that she was directing it inwards, which wasn't actually good for her.
No.
Mm-mm.
So, what the hell are they going to do with her now? Because they can't let her have, let her powers out because they're destructive, and she can't turn them inward anymore because they're destructive.
She's going to have to learn to control them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if he's, I don't know how many episodes he's going to be around. I don't think he's going to be a regular.
I think that was it. I think it was just this one episode.
Yeah, he said he was leaving. I want him to come back because
I want him to come back because I
episode,
think that he could help her.
Yeah, this episode makes me wish that John watched the show.
Yeah. Yeah, John would get a kick out of him.
I want to know what John thinks of him.
Well, maybe he's not going to be in the show, but maybe he'll be over the phone talking to Sky, helping her out. Who knows? I mean, there's ways around that.
Exactly. So, we finally got our answer as to what the hell Mac and Bobby are up to. I'm sorry. The show opened with Hunter tied to what is he, handcuffed to a toilet?
No, it was
He's
the
handcuffed
sink.
to the sink.
Oh, he's handcuffed to the sink in a safe house.
Yeah.
Which is unknown where it is. And we find out by the end that Mac and Bobby are working for the real S.H.I.E.L.D. My reaction was, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah, I was like, okay, if you're the real S.H.I.E.L.D., then why are they, what's Coulson's S.H.I.E.L.D.? And and if you're the real S.H.I.E.L.D., shouldn't you have all this information that Coulson already has?
Right, now, so, this is my guess, basically. Coulson is the Nick Fury, I lost the word I was going to say.
Nick Fury's side of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
The Nick Fury sanctioned S.H.I.E.L.D. And the real S.H.I.E.L.D. is the U.S. government sanctioned S.H.I.E.L.D.
See, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, because it had the symbol of the bird, but it had 3 stars.
3 stars,
That
yeah,
almost
and
looks military stars.
yeah, it's 2 different. Depending on Army, between Army, Navy, and Marine. But basically, it's either vice admiral or a lieutenant general. So when I saw that, I was like, it's the military.
Yeah.
See, I didn't see the little for next episode, so I put this together, and I was just like, oh, so it's probably the military.
For Talbot theory wasn't too far.
Yeah, but they probably still are working for Talbot.
Yeah.
Or Talbot works for Talbot works in the organization at some point.
He's a little more friendly with them.
It's very possible.
Yeah, I mean, his attitude probably changed when the government S.H.I.E.L.D. was like, yo, we got an op, don't worry.
But but have you noticed that he hasn't been around since then?
Yeah.
And that also kind of ties in with the whole Iron Man thing where, the government tried to make their own Iron Man suit and it didn't really work that well.
Yeah.
So they've been doing this in the MCU for quite a while.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they told, God, now I can't remember his name now. Told him to back off of Coulson.
Talbot?
Yeah. I wonder if they told him to back off Coulson because they got ops in there.
Probably.
Very likely. So
I wonder how he took that one.
Well, he's in the military. It was an order from a superior, so he had to.
I'm sure he didn't like it. Well,
yeah.
Well, whether there's 2 different things. Having to do it because of the military, but whether he really liked it personally is a whole nother issue.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So that's going to be interesting. Because if you watch the promo, this is all available in the promo, we see a whole bunch of, people in a conference room talking with the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo, the new S.H.I.E.L.D. logo on the
real
table,
S.H.I.E.L.D.
on the wall, and then there's Admiral friggin' Adama standing there giving order, looking like he's in a position of authority.
Yeah. He is probably the head of it. I mean, you don't hire Edward James Olmos and not put him.
Yeah, you do not put him in a prominent position.
Yeah.
He might almost be in charge.
So what's this? I'm guessing this is going to further lead into Civil War, because now we have 2 S.H.I.E.L.D.s working against each other.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, and what I found when Coulson was alone with Bobby, I was going to say, I can never remember her name. He was you can tell he was hunting for something because he knew it was odd. It's like he didn't completely believe her story about Hunter and Mac, and I think something's clicking in his head. Like there's something. There's something going. Yeah, like he knows something's up, and and I don't think they think he knows because I think they think he's too stupid.
Yeah. So I mean, so the government forms a new S.H.I.E.L.D. This is all theorizing, because they thought the idea of S.H.I.E.L.D. was a good one, but it kind of fell apart because of Hydra.
They wanted a within the government umbrella instead of outside of the umbrella.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And now, Coulson is running what he thinks is S.H.I.E.L.D. or what he is S.H.I.E.L.D. with Fury's blessing. I just can't imagine how this is going to play out.
Well, I mean, if S.H.I.E.L.D. fell apart, and it fell apart into pieces, so it makes sense that one piece would go one way and the other piece would go the other way.
But obviously, they don't have the intel and the information that Coulson has, then because they
don't have the toolbox.
No, they don't have it.
Yeah, Fury was like up there in S.H.I.E.L.D. and Fury gave the toolbox to Coulson. Mm-hmm. So obviously, the military S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to want the toolbox, which was held by the director,
which has the index. And
what if they got the toolbox and it really was just the payroll receipts?
I would love it. That'd be great.
I would love it. Yeah.
The fuck is this?
I would love it if Mac gets back in there, finally does get what he thinks is the toolbox, but Coulson was on to him before he got to it, and replaced it all like everybody's pay stubs.
I wouldn't put it past him because Coulson is smart. He understands, and he knows when people are lying to him. He knows when people are hiding stuff from him, and people don't give him as much credit anymore after he died.
Right.
They think after he died. Now they just think he's kind of a mental case. Yeah. Especially after the whole alien carvings and stuff going through his head. They think he's kind of a mental case.
Mm-hmm. So, real S.H.I.E.L.D. Fun stuff. Maybe, that's the thing I forgot. Cal got abducted by Gordon the Eyeless Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
And when he showed up, I was actually expecting him to take Skye with him. Because he took
so was I.
But he took Raina, but left Skye. I'm curious as to why he did that.
Maybe they know that she's safe and she's taken care of, but Cal, on the other hand, is a little bit out of control. As he said, you're making too much noise.
And maybe that's now that you say that, I just thought of that. Raina looks like a porcupine. So, I mean, that's kind of out in the open. Mm-hmm. Skye looks perfectly normal.
Yeah, and it's possible that he's the only one left of whatever, community they used to have. So he might not be able to deal with two of them at once.
I don't know. I think they're, I mean, when we saw flashbacks of when he was a kid, last time, and there was a whole bunch of, and the guy was like, "Good thing you don't age as well." Well, maybe she wasn't the only one that doesn't age fast, so there might be more of them.
I'm getting the feeling that there's not. If there's anyone else, there's not many left.
I think there's someone that Cal knows.
Yeah, because at the end, he says, "What are you going to do with me?" And Gordon tells him, "It's up to you." And he just opens the door, and Cal walks out, and I'm like, "Oh, where is he? Where is he? Where is he?" And that's all they ended at.
Yeah, I mean, and it was so funny. And Cal was like, "Why didn't you take her? She was one of us." He goes, "You're not one of us. You're like science experiment.
You're a science experiment."
He's like, "You guys are not one of us."
One of us.
And I was like, "Yeah, you tell him." And you just saw the look on his face. It was just like, "What? I'm not one of you?"
Well, he kind of knew he wasn't.
Well,
he was deluding himself into thinking he was special.
He was deluding. It was like someone crushed his dreams.
Mm-hmm.
But also, and I mean, we haven't seen so much from that community, but what I got from it was that they were accepting of like, oh, you have you're inhuman, but you have a husband who's not. Fine, bring him in. It's okay. We're cool here. Everybody gets to live here.
If they did that with him, helping him accept his no-eyedness.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was others, and there's others out there, and I'm just curious to see who's running this and what other Inhumans or gifted people they have.
Yeah, I too am very curious. One last thing to mention here. Coulson, when Simmons was talking to Coulson alone about how they should separate the Index into man-made and,
Gifted.
gifted, like actually gifted, alien-made or whatever, Coulson said something, I don't remember the exact line. He said, like, we need a contingency plan to basically, take them out if we need to.
It seems like the man-made ones are a little more volatile, a little more a threat to society than the Inhumans or the gifted ones, because everyone we've seen pretty much has been enhanced or by some kind of science and stuff that's trying to take people down.
But what I got was that Coulson was basically asking Simmons for a way to neutralize Skye if they need to.
I think Skye will neutralize herself. She carries around that dime.
If that doesn't work, I don't know. I got the feel like Skye was, and he said, "Keep it to ourselves. It doesn't leave this room. It's between me and you." I kind of got the feeling that it was, in case this goes south, we're gonna need a way to stop her. I don't know. I got a bad feeling from it. That's all.
And when he asked her to keep it to herself, I don't know. I think Fitz is, or whatever. I think Gemma is still a little.
Or, you know what, keep it to herself. Maybe Coulson just is wary that there may be a mole in the agency.
He might be, yeah. That too. But I have a feeling that as determined as Skye is and how strong her character has become over this season, that she's going to learn to control that. She's going to learn not only control her emotions. I mean, she's already starting to learning how to control it, but she's going to find a way to dissipate that
without hurting
energy
herself.
Without hurting herself and other people. I mean, she's either going to have to, or they're going to have to lock her up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting a vibe, especially after the whole thing with the Kree, the guy from the Kree, whatever.
Vintak. I remember his name. Why do I remember his name?
But I get a feeling that these powers are out of control and random, and there may not be. I mean, with the help of the community, the Inhumans seem to control their powers, but I don't know. Skye might be special.
Well, by the way that they were, obviously her mom was one, but
yeah.
But then when they were talking about the genes, they were saying that it was like these part of the genes that were awoken. They were awakened. They woken up. They were always there. Just you couldn't see them, and then something happened and woke them up. So they were always. That's why they wanted to separate the Index, because it was always there. It just wasn't alive, wasn't active.
Yeah, and I mean
so it was always there. So I don't know.
Yeah, the separation of the Index might also cause problems.
There's a lot of problems coming.
There's a lot of problems.
Coulson's got. Yeah, he's got a lot more than 99 problems right now. I was going to make a clever joke, but fuck that. No, too serious.
Kind of hope they go the way the comic book went, and Skye or Daisy ends up being the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, because Daisy does wind up being director of S.H.I.E.L.D. at one point in the
That'll
comics.
be dope.
Yeah,
that would be pretty dope.
Down for that.
Well, what happens to Coulson at that point?
it's probably the same thing happened to Nick Fury. He just steps away, goes and does another project.
Good point.
Nick Fury's still there.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what he's up to. And we'll
We'll
find
find out in a few
May.
episodes.
It just seemed like when Skye, went in the field, both May and Coulson, I mean, you could definitely tell their connection to her is getting more. They're like trying to protect her, and it's very unusual to see May actually care about someone.
She actually gives a crap.
But at the same time, May is getting to the end of her rope where it's gonna reach a point where she's like, I literally have no idea where to go from here.
She can only do so much.
You've used all of my tactics, everything I have in my in my arsenal, and I don't know what to do now.
We've
Well, like-
exhausted May's toolbox now.
Yeah.
Well, like what her ex said, he's like, "What are you scared of? What are you feeling? You need to tell me that. You need to say them. You can't internalize them." And that's what she's doing. I don't think Sky's gotten to that point where she can wrestle with those demons yet. I think once she wrestles with those, especially her, knowing who her father is and what he is, that's probably a big, huge part of her emotional
Big.
unstableness right now. She has to deal with that, and I think once she deals with that, she'll learn to control it, and maybe finding her dad in this wherever it is, actually in Asia, we're guessing.
Somewhere.
She'll learn to control it, and she'll be fine.
That
For
might be-
less of a better word. But I just want to know. I mean, it sounded like when he's like, "What do you want? What are they going to do to me?" He's like, "It's basically," the guy's like, "It's not up to me."
Yep.
Opens the door. So who's running the show? I want to. That's the one. Besides the whole real shield, that I really want to see the background of. Is it another Inhuman? Is it
Yeah.
Is it another real shield?
I don't know.
I don't know. I keep thinking that we're going to turn around and Sky's mom isn't actually going to be dead. I know it's impossible, but I don't know why I keep thinking that.
It's not impossible. I mean,
Not
they could always
impossible.
just make it up. Be like, well, she just regenerated, or
I was just going to say that. Maybe
she
he found her.
regenerated all of her internal organs. No,
We don't know what kind of the alien she was.
I mean, hell, they did that with Jack Harkness on Torchwood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was like a finger encased in concrete,
He was.
And-
That's right.
and he regenerated his entire body. So I mean,
Why do
it's
I
not.
not remember that?
You
I
probably
watched all
blocked
of
it out.
It's been a long time since I watched
Yeah.
Torchwood.
So I mean, he could have found her body and whatever he did with it, buried it or whatnot. But she could have regenerated and came back, and we don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's the whole reveal. It's going to be, she's still alive, surprise.
She's still alive, and he's gonna be like, and she's like, "You've been a bad boy."
You've been.
She is alive, and she is the leader of the Inhuman group.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
it
what
seemed
I want
like
to
she. Well, when No Eyes, I can never remember her name.
Gordon.
Gordon was freaking out. I mean, she was very gentle and very understanding. I mean, like Cal kept saying, Daisy has to be scared. She doesn't know what she's doing. She, blah blah blah, all this other kind of crap, and that's what he was. So whether or not Cal, obviously, I don't think Cal knew this side of his wife, because
Yeah.
otherwise he would have been like, "Oh, I know where I am. I know what's going on."
Yep. So that's about that for this episode.
So many questions.
So many questions.
many questions.
We're actually supposed to get some kind of answers next episode, but
Let's
will
hope.
hold my breath. Anyway, the next episode is going to be called Love in the Time of Hydra. And
Oh, God.
Oh, I saw a few things for that. Yeah.
here's another one of my favorite writing styles for synopses. Coulson and his team are still reeling from a shocking revelation that leaves the team fractured, as they must decide what to do with one of their own. Like, really, they took bits and pieces from like 4 other synopses and put them. I swear they're listening to me when I bitch about this every week.
They
And they're
didn't mention
doing it
that Coulson died.
just to annoy you.
I know, right? So they must decide to do with one of their own. Meanwhile, Bobby and Mac reveal their true allegiance to Hunter, while elsewhere, Ward and Agent 33 embark on a personal mission.
I was just going to ask,
33?
what are they going to bring? When are they going to bring Ward back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When are we going to see Ward?
Ward and
Agent-
Scarface May.
Race May.
Oh, she's still stuck as May.
Yep.
Half her face.
She's still half May.
Yep.
Dang.
So they're going to embark on a personal mission.
Seriously, I have that written down right here. When will we see Ward again? I have it written down on my notes.
Congratulations, we have now answered that question. When will we see Ward again? Next episode.
Yeah.
God
according to
maybe-
damn it.
Okay, now that there's this real shield, could he possibly have been working for them at some point?
I don't know.
Probably not.
We don't know.
We don't.
He might get
Well,
recruited.
because-
Who knows?
Well, we don't know because his superior, his crazy guy, was also military.
Ward's
So-
a basket full of nuts.
We don't know. I mean, he's a basket full of something.
I was really getting used to there being no Ward.
I wasn't.
And he doesn't have a beard anymore, so we can't call him Beardy McTraderface.
Oh, I'm still calling him Beardy McFay.
That's fine.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if, like, he was working for the real S.H.I.E.L.D. and he blew his cover and then they pulled him out and put these two in.
I don't think so. Ward is
I'm jumping down a rabbit hole here.
Ward
I'm having
Ward is
fun
on
with
the
it.
crazy train. Choo choo. I mean, he's not.
All aboard.
He'll work with only the people who will further his crazy goals. There's like, he didn't care about Hydra. He didn't care about S.H.I.E.L.D. It was all about him.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, that would be our show. And I set all this up. I was all happy with my preparedness. And then you all swapped places because of Skype's idiocy. So, we're going to start with Rachel. Where can they find... They can't find you there.
They can't find me there.
Just read it out. Where can they find you on Twitter and places
They
like
can
that?
find me at Savannah17. That's SEVANNA 17.
Fuck this program, I swear to God. Erika, where can they find you? You'll be halfway done by the time... Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere at Erika Ring 7.
Oh no, I had my
She had hers prepared.
It's
Well,
still,
you know what?
It's still up there on my wall.
You can hold up both of them if you want.
Find me at Clio Moto on the socials and on Twitch at the Clio Moto. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow.
Yeah, let's. I haven't moved thanks to Skype's
They've
idiocy.
Pigeon
so let's
dating
see.
sim.
Is mine still there?
It's
Mine
I'm
isn't
going to
still
do another one. It's called Katua Shoujo. It is another dating sim.
there. Anyway,
Those
you
are so funny.
can find me on Twitter and Twitch.
This one's going to be a little sad.
It's
Sorry.
gonna be sad.
Not
You
my
can find
fault.
me there at Thilladrin on Twitter and Twitch. You can also find me and everybody else here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace at ASOTV Podcast, all one word. You can follow us there for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Thank you for watching, everyone, and have a lovely evening.
Toodles!
Bearded traitor face.